All right, welcome, and we're back again. All right, so today we're gonna do this guy some more. We actually got our second piece of Uber Unique that we're wearing now. So we're now wearing the crest. We're wearing the might. We still need the ring. And that's what we're going to be farming for today is sparks to be able to get that ring. So let's go make it. The first thing I want to do though is, let's see, everything is pretty freaking good, but I would like, let's do this.
Kettle's hot. What do you need?
Let's do this. Let's do 7 of those. And let's come over here and fortitude. Oh, no, wait. Maybe I don't want to do that. We'll do 5 of them, but I think what I'd rather have is that.
Good batch.
Okay, let's go get it done. It should be a fun day here. We got tons and tons of mats, man. I was on last night. I got a buttload of mats, a buttload of gold. Holy cow. I sold off a lot of stupid stuff that I had in my bags, but we still got a lot of stuff in our bags. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. I think we're going to head straight down here. I think we're going to go right to Durrell to start off. And we'll start there, and then we'll just work our way around the bosses. But we'll start here. This is where it dropped for me last night. So we'll check. Man, the horse is so clunky.
I need more time.
All right, here we go. Yeah, I think the cat mounts are really bad. You know, and the horses didn't get very clunky until right at the end of season 4. I don't know what that's about. Right at the end of season 4, they did an update. Actually, it was when they added, I take that back. It was when they added the WSAD controls. And that is exactly when the horses became, that's when I really started noticing it.
I'm not ready yet.
I don't use WSAD controls, but that's when I started seeing it real bad. And then when you do the cat mounts, oh my gosh, not only do they look silly running, but wow, they were really bad. You're right. So we're wearing Tyrell's Might. We're losing a little bit of damage because of that, but it's all right. Because nothing can kill me. Or I shouldn't say that, because about the time I say that, I'll get killed.
I'm not ready.
All right, well, no mythic there. This ring has been dropping over and over. Let's see which ring it is, because it's been dropping a lot. Yeah, the blue rose. Been dropping a lot. Season. Yeah, I'm on season. Yep. I got a lot of characters on Eternal. I do. You know, the Eternal server is so dead, though. It's like, man, every time I go visit it, it's literally, you're the only one there, it seems like. All right, let's go again. This is really what it is. It's just running them over and over and over and over. I actually was going to take this season off. I went and left and played Path of Exile and Once Human and the First Descendants. But because I didn't like the PTR. I really didn't like Infernal Hordes at all. But I had some followers on Twitch specifically that contacted me and said, you know, at least do one character. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Okay, I'll come back and do one character real quick. And then it kind of sucked me in. I still don't like Infernal Hordes, but luckily I already had my character done on Path of Exile, and Once Human, I actually loved the game, but I didn't like the fact that it's all WSAD controls. And then, well, yeah, I actually have 3 characters though this season already. This is the character I started with, but yeah, I also have a landslide druid and a barrage rogue. Usually I do a lot of characters, and usually I create my own builds, but this season I'm not. It's a short season with the DLC coming out. I did get a new Uber. I got the Harlequin Crest last night. So now I've got Tyro's Might, a Harlequin Crest. And I'm kind of farming now to get the ring. And then we'll be sitting pretty. Doombringer would be good for my druid as well, actually. So let's go over here.
How can I help?
But yeah, I got actually I didn't get the drop last night. It dropped again, that staff, and I just went because I had enough and cashed in my resplendent sparks for that. Yeah, it's kind of what I felt like. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and cash these in right now. So I cashed them all in last night, got the crest. This guy kind of needed it. And now I need the ring, and the Doombringer would be real 2 good pieces that I could use as well. Doombringer more for my druid. But the ring could be used by all of them, by druid, by this guy, and by my rogue. But we're starting off our farming right here on Durrell. Then we're gonna move probably to Beast and the Seer and Grigori, and we'll just kind of cycle through all of them. Maybe not so much Grigori, because I think I need to farm more living steel. Everything else I got a lot of, but living steel I don't think I have as much. It's pretty much the same content as before, trying to farm for Mythics and just cycling through the bosses. I'm probably gonna go run some Infernal Horde too, because I need some pieces upgraded. Number one is this Harlequin Crest needs to be upgraded still. I mean, all of these are only level 2, so there's some work that I've been kind of ignoring it because I haven't needed it, but we need to do it. So yeah, we'll probably run some tier 7. All right, Mikey, take care, man. Thank you, appreciate it. All right, let's see what we got here. Get rid of all of this. Wrong way. Blue Rose is dropping like crazy. It was dropping last night like crazy. Like I said, I was able to get another mythic last night. And Now we need to get our third.
I can break that down.
I mean, actually, I shouldn't say that get our third because there's actually, we've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4. We've gotten like 5 of them and we've cashed them 4. I'm sorry, 4 and cashed them in. So
Not while I'm in town.
it's not really fair that I'm saying third. It's the third that I'm using. Let me say that. Or I'm sorry, 2. I'm sorry, 2. I keep saying 3. It's 2. I've got 2. 3 drop. 2 of the staff, 1 of the of Tyrell's Might, and then I used my Resplendent Sparks to get the Harlequin Crust. Attack power doesn't matter in this game. If you think attack power matters, you're wrong. Attack power means absolutely nothing. You can have this attack power up to 90,000 and you'll do less damage than I do. Because that's not what matters. What matters is crit chance, crit damage, your other stats matter. Attack power is a meaningless stat in this game right now. I mean, it means something, but not much. And I wish they would call it something else because people make the exact same mistake that you just made, saying that your attack power is low. My attack damage right now is low because I'm wearing Tyrell's Might. And if you wear Tyrell's Might, you lose 40% damage. However, by wearing Tyrell's Might, I don't have to worry about standing in anything. I can stand in all the junk I want, and I don't have to worry. But attack power, we went over this yesterday. It means absolutely nothing in this game, technically. It's not what you think it is. But people confuse it, and people think it does, and then they get their attack power, like the guy yesterday that was on here said, my attack power is at 90,000, and I can't, and it sucks. And I'm like, yep. That's not the stat that matters in this game. We had a big discussion about it yesterday, as a matter of fact, with Jules online, and Jules was able to explain it way better than I was. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, Darrell's been pretty kind to me too with Mythics. Actually Lord Zir too. And I've heard a lot of people are getting them from Glacier Beast. But yeah. There we go. This is like maybe our 5th run right here.
I cannot carry more.
All right, and we're full. I would still wish they would put us a stash bag inside the boss headquarters so we could just get our mats and make some bag room. No, I only do solo on the weekdays and I run followers through on the weekends. In fact, this Sunday we're doing a follower run at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Sorry, I run solo during the week strictly. Okay, Blue Rose again. Holy smokes. Yeah, we discussed this yesterday with Jules online, who he explained it much better than I did, that attack power in this game does not mean what you think it does. Honestly, it doesn't. It's You know, like the guy that was on yesterday said, yeah, my attack power is at 90k and I do less damage and wearing Ubers and still does less damage. So it's not what you think it means. It really depends on your class. It depends on your, like this character here, this class right here, this build is all crit strike, crit damage. The reason my damage is low is not because of this, it's because of this. This removes 40% of your damage right there. Okay, so if I would switch and go back to my other chest piece, my damage goes through the roof. But the fact is then I don't have damage prevention like Tyrell's Might gives me. So that's the reason why. And for me, it's like perfect. I can stand in any boss, stand in his stuff and fight. I don't have to worry. If I put my other chest piece on, yeah, well, then I'm drinking some potions and, you know, it's just, I don't have to worry about it by wearing Tyrell's Might. But I need the ring. Well, on this build, crit chance and crit damage matters a lot, really a whole lot. As I mean, it is the big thing on this build that you want to build up as high as you can. And cooldown reduction. Cooldown reduction has nothing to do with damage, though. I mean, it does in a way, because the more cooldown reduction you have, the more skills you can use quicker. They can become available faster. But yeah, there's a lot of discussion going on right now about that attack power all over the internet, and there's some good explanations about it. And I really wish Blizzard would rename it, because it confuses people, and they think that they got to get that number way up. And what they don't understand is it's really not helping you. It's the other stats that are helping you. Now, granted, you don't want your attack power at 1,000 either, but you'll find the right balance, and really it's going to come naturally. And it's a stat that I don't even worry about on any of my tunes ever. Through all 5 seasons, never, ever did I worry about this number. You know, on my barb, my druids, my rogues, never do I worry about that number, because that number really doesn't mean anything. But because they call it attack power, everybody thinks it does. So it's a very confusing thing in the game, I think, for people. But if you play long enough, you'll realize that just ignore that number and do what your build needs. If your build is saying you need crit damage, then get crit damage. If it's saying you need crit damage and crit chance, then get crit damage, crit chance. Don't ignore, you know, cooldown reductions. Don't, you know, there's so many things to each build. It's crazy. And a lot of it sometimes doesn't make sense. You know, I mean, you got to really dig into it and break it down, and then you go, oh, okay, I see how that works now. And sometimes the best thing to do is just go out in the game and test it and go see. Actually, Durrell is probably not, well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that Durrell is the best for farming or not the best. You know, there's a whole video right now done by a guy, not Rob, but a very similar guy from Germany, that he shows you that farming Varshan made the most sense to him. You know, he was doing Varshan and Gregori, and he was getting mythics, and he was getting mats to do Durrell. So I mean, I don't know where the best. I've seen him drop. I've gotten drops myself from Lord Zir, drops from Durrell. Drops from the Beast in the Ice has been pretty popular here lately. It just is a matter of patience. I hate to say it. It really is. Well, at least now we're not seeing a bunch of lag like we were last 2 days. Yeah, so you got to also keep in mind, like if you do like I am right now, okay, if you are farming for Tyrell's Might, keep in mind that the reason it's such a great piece is not because of the damage. You're actually going to lose damage by using it, depending on what you replaced, I guess. But it's going to give you damage reduction like crazy. So like right now, me wearing it, it's causing me to do less damage. But as you see, I'm not having to really worry about anything poison on the ground, anything this guy throws at me. I'm just fine. Because it's, you know, the whole point of it is, if you look at it, 31% damage reduction, and this thing isn't even fully upgraded yet. It's only masterwork to 8. You know, third damage reduction, you know, is what it also gives you resistance to all elements. But it's not like, you know, you do get to unleash the divine barrage, but it's not like a damage dealer. But yeah, the lag yesterday was really bad. It's really bad. Zera's dropped a lot for you. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. If you can't do Ubers yet, listen, I'm gonna do a follower run this Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. You can find me by using go on Battle.net and use Made Biker #1605. Add me as a friend, and then hook up with me Sunday, and we'll run some torment bosses. All you have to be is try to get yourself to world tier 4, and we'll run some torment bosses. Also, my bags are 100% full of unique equipment, unique gear. If you need a piece, I just give it to you. I'm not going to sit on it. It makes no sense, and I'd rather give it to somebody that can use it. So look at your build, decide what you think what you're going to need, and I am more than happy to just give it to you Sunday. And I'll try to do more of these weekend follower runs. We used to do them every single weekend, and we kind of got away from it just due to life. But now I'm finally starting to get caught up here with all the projects at my house. I just retired, a few months back, and I had a bunch of stuff that I had to get completed on the home, and I'm still working on one, which is the gutter project on my house. I'm installing new gutters on my house, and it's a nightmare, but I'm almost done with it. It's basically 2 80-foot runs on the side of the house, and then 2 45-foot runs in the front and back. So I just got to get it almost done. So we're not seeing a lot drop in here. I'm trying to be patient, but my wife will tell you I'm the least patient guy in the whole world. I have the gloves of the Illuminator for sure, Jesse. I definitely can tell you I have multiple of those. So yeah, just hook up with me on Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern time if you can. If not, give me a friend invite and we'll figure out a way to get that piece to you somehow. Because I do have it, and there's no sense in me sitting on it. I mean, you can see I'm breaking uniques here because I've got like every one of these multiple times in my bags already. I only try to save them now if they've got a good GA on them, and because I know that somebody might need them. But yeah, I mean, you can see I'm not saving any of these because I've got so many already.
Down.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude. Anything you guys, like I said, Made Biker #1605. Send me a friend invite, and I guarantee you, if you can hook up on Sunday with me, we will run the crap out of stuff. I've got mats like crazy. I mean, I've got mats. The only mats I might be short on is living steel, and I even have that, but I don't, it's probably not like I have of everything else, which is hundreds. And I don't farm mats, okay? I'm gonna tell you how I get them. All right, I don't have the Andes. You're talking about the Mythic, that one you can't trade mythics. That's the problem. You can only do uniques. The Andariel, this if that's what you're talking about. How do I get multiple arrows to shoot like that? That's not me doing that. That's actually this. That's this piece right here. Tyrael's Might. While at full life, your skills unleash a divine barrage, dealing 5,700 damage. That's the divine barrage. That's the divine barrage. But Jir, you can definitely come in Sunday and we can do it. Brando, I only do solo during the week. I do follower runs on the weekends. So Sunday at 11 a.m. do an invite, 11 a.m. Eastern time, do an invite for Maid Biker number 1605. You can do it right now, and this afternoon I'll approve it, and I'll run you through whatever you want to run through this weekend for sure. All right, here we go. What's up, Drew? Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. So, guys, I stream. You'll hear me talking to a lot of different people. I stream at all the networks simultaneously. I'm on Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube right now. And we used to do Trovo and we used to do Kick, but I kind of felt like they were not providers, not services that I wanted to support. So we've narrowed it down to just these few right now: Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. And so sometimes you'll hear me talking to somebody that you don't see any chat on your screen. Well, that's because they're on a different platform. And my chat is multi-chat. I see everything. And I could put it on my screen, but I just don't like it. It steals away good real estate, in my opinion. Especially for TikTok. You guys' screen is already kind of abused and short, vertical. You lose a lot of the screen.
I cannot carry more.
There we go. Yeah, the sorcerer is fun. The druid's fun too. The druid's just a struggle early game. My crit damage, what is my crit damage at? Let's take a look. A good question. My crit damage is at 1,396%. Like I said, this is the most important one for this build right here. These two. This is actually low. I had it up to like 60 some percent and it's dropped, but yeah. That's what it's at. Are you going to use the mythic ring? I'm trying to get that ring right now. Right now I'm wearing the crest, I'm wearing the might, and I'm trying to get that starless ring. I also would like to get Doombringer, because just for my druid could use Doombringer for sure. So it's a struggle, but it is what it is. I mean, this has been this drop rate has been way better than previous seasons for sure. I mean, we ran thousands and thousands and thousands of Durrells with players, followers, and oh my gosh! So we'll save this one because this one is got a GA on it. What is the GA? Max life. All right, we'll save that. And whoa, what did I do here? Don't do that. Okay.
I can break that down.
I used the landslide druid. I like it a lot. Yeah, Varshan's dropping a lot, so okay, that's cool to hear. We did Varshan quite a bit the last couple of days. We didn't get lucky there. We did on Lord Zir. The landslide druid, if you do the Uber build on it, it uses the Doombringer. It uses the ring, Starless Skies ring, and it uses the Doombringer. But only on the Uber build side of that build. If you do standard and landslide build, then it doesn't use the Doombringer at all. Yeah, I will use that mythic ring if I can get my hands on it. That's for sure. Actually, all of my characters could use the ring, including my rogue. So it's a valuable piece that could be very worthwhile having right now. I always create my own builds, but on this season, I did it off of two different places I used. I use max roll a lot just because this season, because it's very user friendly, but I also like to use d4builds.gg. Sometimes you'll find some really, and the druid landslide build on d4builds.gg is better than the one at Maxroll. And then there's also Doomstorm, which is over on Mobalytics, I think, and I did do that one for quite a while, and I hated it, but I mean, it's to each their own, you know what I'm saying? But you can find a good, really, just find a build that you like and that I mean, really look at the skills and go, oh yeah, okay, I would like using that one, and then give it a shot. You know, usually you'll get a good feel for if you're gonna like it or not pretty quickly. There was a little bit of lag right there getting this guy to start up. Huh, that was interesting. Last 2 days lag has been horrendous. Today I haven't seen too much of it. My attack, my damage is a little low right now because I'm using Tyro's Might, and yet you need to be aware of that Tyro's Might will steal approximately 40% of your damage. You'll lose it. It depends on what, of course, you replace it. I mean, if the chest piece you were wearing was crap, well then yeah, maybe you're not gonna give up 40%. But the standard that I've been seeing most people talk about has been 40%, which seems about right, because when I put my other chest piece on, it does great, but he takes more damage. So same spec. Yeah, what is my power? Attack power doesn't mean anything. You're talking about this doesn't mean nothing. This is absolutely the most meaningless stat in this entire game for 5 seasons. We talked about this quite a bit yesterday. Jules on TikTok really knew a lot more about it than me. He was able to explain it better than me. But it means nothing. It's a nothing stat in this game. What matters in this game is what's important for your build. This build is critical strike damage. Okay, this build, you have to have this. All right, mine's at 1300 and critical strike chance. But this stat, attack power, like the guy yesterday was saying, his was at 90k and he was doing crap damage, because that stat is misleading. That's not what you think it means. I wish they would rename it, to be honest with you. Usually, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, all 5 seasons, I have never looked at that stat. I've never cared, because I knew it meant nothing for my barb, for my druid, for my rogue, for my necro. It's just a meaningless stat. It's very confusing stat is what it is. But a lot of people think that because in most games that's what you want, but in this game, attack power is not used the way you think it is. Okay, so let's take this back. Yeah, exactly. If you check the stat as you're playing, it'll jump, and that's based on a lot of other stats on you're exactly right. That's James has got it on the button. I mean, that is on the button. Yeah, but T8 hordes isn't that hard to do really either. It's just, I mean, again, I'm just telling you what I know. I'm just telling you, you can go straight to Blizzard and you can ask them. They'll tell you that attack power doesn't mean what you think it means, but it is a multiplying factor with other things. And it also, like the guy yesterday that had 90k attack power and he couldn't do crap because his other stats weren't where they needed to be. That's what matters. So like I can go clear tier 8 and my attack power is only at 9300, but it's because the things that matter on this build, dang it, the things that matter on this build I've done.
The forge is always hot.
But it's just a constant thing that people are talking about. And like I said, in 5 seasons, attack powers never meant anything to me ever. And we've ran end game content with every one of our characters. So that is a misleading stat, to be quite honest. Now, don't get me wrong. If you've got everything else right on your build and this right here is at 20,000, oh, yeah, you're gonna go crazy. You're gonna do great. Absolutely. That I will agree for sure. But it depends on other factors. This build, for example, depends on these two. And my critical strike chance is actually low. It should be higher than this. It was earlier before I changed some gear, but this is what really, and cooldown reduction. But cooldown reduction is a whole different monster. But we had this discussion quite a bit yesterday. Who has the better sorcerer build? I know that D4 builds.gg, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I think Maxwell or Mobilytics, I think they're both about the same. I don't think you're gonna see a whole lot of difference. I thought he was gonna go down right there, and he didn't. The factor that's hurting my damage right now is Tyro's Might. Tyro's Might, I lost 40% damage right off the get-go as soon as I put it on. But I don't take damage.
I cannot carry.
All right, we're gonna head to it. We're gonna go cash this in and go to a different boss because we are not seeing it. We've been here for what now? About 40 minutes, so. I'm good, Jules. I'm good. Good to see you. I was just telling people here, Jules, that you had a much better explanation about this this stat yesterday than I'm able to provide. A lot of people still think that this means what it means, and they think that that number has to be sky high for you to perform. And sadly, I've been trying to explain to them, but I'm not very good at explaining it like you were yesterday. That's for sure. It's just a factor that goes with more important stats, really. But my resistances are above the 70% because of Tyro's Might. That's why you see that. You're asking why are these above? That's because of this right here, Tyro's Might. It's given me, 78% resistance. 9/8 maximum resistance to all elements. All right, and I think that's the only piece that I'm wearing that's doing that right now. And well, let's go grab this and then we'll go hit another boss. Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell. The attack power really, it's very deceiving, and I wish they would rename it. Um, but you got those guys out there that want to argue, and they think they're right because that's what the name says, and it's like, okay, I understand why they think that. Trust me, I do. I get it. You know, you think it because that's what they named it, and that's too bad that they named it that way, but that's how they named it. Let's go do some Beast in the Ice real quick. He's probably, in my opinion, no, Andario, I think, because Andario, you can't break his mechanics. He's going to do his mechanics whether you want him to or not. Okay, so I think I already have those mats. I do. Let's go ahead and put these mats away. We'll keep them. We'll just keep them on. I got the Harlequin Crust last night. So now we've got Tyro's Might, Harlequin Crust. I need to get this Ring of Starless Skies. And that's going to be interesting because I have been reading that it's when it drops, but like it's kind of one of those rare drops. So we'll see. I have not seen it yet, so we'll see what happens. Me, I keep getting the staff.
Any time to prepare that.
Yeah, multiplicative. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Crit chance, crit damage. That's what I was trying to explain earlier. But it's a hard explanation because people are confused by that word, the name that they gave it, and for right reasons. I mean, most games you play, when you see attack power, it means exactly what a lot of players think it means now. All right. This is probably the one boss I think I have the most trouble with. Only because if I don't drop him fast, he does that stinking wave there, right there. He's gonna do this.
Any time to prepare that.
And he's actually a pretty simple boss if you can just dodge that right there. All right, now he's gonna do his little. Here we go. Kadir, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate that. All right, well, nothing from him today. Why do I run them solo? I run solo during the week, and I do follower runs on weekends. It's just something I've always done. And I have a gazillion mats, so I'm not worried about a rotation system or anything. Oh, I thought I was gonna have him down before. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm like, thought he was going.
My burden is too great.
Of course it is. Again, give me a stash box in the boss headquarters, please. I beg of you. No, I want Starless Skies. I'm already wearing those rings you're talking about, Raven. I want Starless Skies. Trust me. I want Starless Skies. We'll save that one. Somebody might need it. It's got a GA on it. I don't know what the GA is, but let's see. It's resistance to all almost kind of a sucky one, but we'll save it just in case somebody needs it. Again, Sunday, guys, 11 a.m. Eastern. If you need any of this gear, I'm there. Just connect with me, Made Biker, #1605. You can have it, and I don't ask for nothing in return. Yeah, farming on this game is crazy. But yeah, it's okay. Let's see. Oi. 19 runs, you got 6 Starlit Sky. See, that's crazy, bro. That's awesome. This is the lightning spear sorcerer. With no GA, yeah. Well, that's, that seems to happen a lot here too. A lot of Ubers with no GAs. I guess it's better than no Uber, even without a GA, probably. It's still probably better than most gear. I mean, it kind of depends, but you little bugger.
In time to
I lose 40% basically. I was able, it's about 40% of damage I lost by putting Tyro's Might on, but still, it's worth it. I just take so much less damage with it. My goodness, we can't get it for the life of us. We got 1 from Lord Zir, 2 from Durrell, 2 in a row. Not today. And now it's just been, we've been dry for, but yesterday, nothing dropped, and today, so far today, nothing. Yeah, I think that the Chain Lightning build is pretty cool too. I think that, yeah, you're right. If I would start my rotation before he spawns, it helps too. But I'm watching, I've got chat screens all over me here, man. I got a 2 PC system. I got 5 freaking screens on my, it's like, I do. Yesterday was a prime example where we died a few times because I started watching my chat screen more than I was watching the boss. Yeah, sometimes it's a challenge, but it is what it is. It's not like, trust me, it's not like work. I can tell you that. I busted my ass for too many years. I'm so glad I'm retired now. It's just, I have a lot of people that thought I was going to hate retirement. They said, oh, you're going to hate it. You're going to be so bored. I'm like, are you insane? Have you ever been retired? It's the best ever. I busted my ass for a lot of years to get to this day. But, appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, let's go. All right, well, come on, beast. Lord Zir is actually probably one of my favorite bosses. So I know we're going to go visit him today. And we've had some good drops from him, especially in this season already. Oh, you got me anyway. I thought I was in that little socket right there, and I guess not. Oh, and again, I thought I was in it. You little booger. I do have to go do some hordes today too, and we'll probably run some tier 7s. I don't think we'll do 8s because 8s really aren't worth it. I mean, it's just, there's not a whole lot better by running an 8 than it is a 7, and 8 is just going to make you sweat. So it's kind of like 7s are like nice and calm. You can bang those out pretty easy. There we go. Well, I knew we were going to be full. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to have to go to the next boss, just because I want to cycle kind of through all of them here and see if we're seeing anything nice. Yeah, it really does take a lot of dedication. I mean, this is probably, I think my 3-year anniversary. I'll just complete my 3 years of streaming in September, but I was doing it part-time for so long. It's so funny when I look back at my old videos, because we were doing back then, we were doing Call of Duty, we were doing The Division 2, we were doing, oh my gosh, I don't even remember. We did some, a lot of Tom Clancy games, Ghost Recon and all that stuff. And we've kind of we did a lot of World of Warships, a lot of World of Tanks back then. It's come a long way. Yeah, I have Fractured Winter Glass. Yeah, I have several of those in my bags too. If anybody needs them Sunday, hook up with me. And 11 a.m. Eastern, and hook up with me and I'll be happy to give them to you, because I got a lot. Okay, so let's go over, it's just a quick little ride to here. And let's go get that done. What am I doing? We want to go here. Yes, they've made some good changes in this game for this season for sure. The mats are, the drop rates are better. Just everything is so much better. The mastery I do have. It's actually, I think it's on my, I want to say it's on my chest piece. Did I just, this, oh no, I'm sorry, this one, yeah. I've got 4 plus 4 to it. And that's what we've got. What else is there to farm once you have the gear? I mean, time to create a new character. Last season I did one of every class, so yeah, time to create a new character. If you've reached the end of the game limit, you've got everything you need, and you're dropping the end game content, then yeah, it's probably time to create a new character, and or you could switch out and go to Path of Exile. Yeah, or yeah, GA stuff for sure, because you can always upgrade your equipment. It's hard to get everything at the correct GAs that you want. It can take a long time. A lot of times, oh, don't get me wrong, a lot of times you don't need it, but if it is something that you could do. All right, let's go run this guy real quick. Yeah, Uber Lilith is just learn the mechanics. Uber Lilith is learning the mechanics, and then it's not too bad to get through. We used to, back season 4, we were actually running guys through it and kind of teaching them those mechanics, because it's always the same. It's just knowing when to jump, when to go to the next part of her little island there, platform that breaks away. And don't let her leap on top of your head. was a big lag in that. That was weird.
I need time to prepare.
Big old lag in there. You're lucky you survived, bro, because you were freaking lagging so bad. There, we got one right there. That's the staff. This is what's been dropping here a lot, man. This is the third or fourth one I've gotten. That guy right there. So that is the one that just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. I am excited for the DLC. Not super excited for some of the same reasons other people are, but I am excited for the DLC. I wasn't impressed with the Spiritborn class, but you know, what's up, Wrecking Havoc? Good to see you. Yeah, I bet it does make a good, I bet that piece does do a good spark, but I will be probably breaking that for sure. We've been breaking all of them. This piece is just get the spark from it. Yeah, it makes a great spark. All right, so let's go back and cash this in, and we'll come back here and do it again. Yeah, easy scrap, exactly. I don't know a build that uses that, to be honest, but I bet you there is one out there, but I have never seen it used anywhere. But I'm sure there is. Let's go over here. So there's one. Now we need 3 more, and we can cash it in for the ring. Oh, you little booger. Why does it keep doing that? I guarantee you I'm going to make that mistake one day. That's why I have a mark so I can't. Because I know my stupidity, I'll accidentally break them and I'll be pissed. Yeah, you used it early game. That kind of might make sense because it does have some good stats on it. As far as like damage reduction and things like that, I noticed. But yeah, I've never seen one used. Yeah, I've never seen one with that spear. Oh yeah, the new. I'm sure that the new Spiritborn class will be really OP for sure. When it first comes out, there is. I mean, it does look kind of cool as far as like playing the Centipede or playing the Jaguar, but I don't know, man. I was like, do we really need another nature class? Couldn't you have just rolled this into the druid? But you know, I think there could have been some other cool classes they did, but it might be really fun. It might be really cool. We'll see. You can do what? It's the eagle, the jaguar, the gorilla, and the centipede. So isn't that funny? So now this is the second time that we've come into Zir, and on the second run he dropped a staff. Second time he's done that. And then the rest of the time he never dropped anything else. In fact, we went over back to Durrell last time and he dropped a staff twice in a row. Oh, I'm sorry. No, he dropped it once and he dropped Tyrell's might. That's right. I'm gonna have to go run Horde here pretty soon because I need to get some stuff upgraded that I've kind of ignored. So my damage has gone down wearing Tyrell's might, that's for sure. I definitely feel it. But I don't take any damage either.
My bag.
Bags are full. So I think the best thing to do would probably be to move on to the next. We'll come back here and grab this gear, but he dropped one already. This is Lord Zir. A paladin or a monk would have been cool, I think. I think there were so many different choices they could have done, but I mean, it's their game. That's what they decided to do. And hopefully it'll be fun. I am disappointed that we're not seeing I was hoping we were going to see an infinity kind of paragon board, but it sounds like they're saying, oh, we'll save that, people might need it. There sounds like they're saying that they're not going to do it. So yeah, we'll save that one too. That one's got what, max life GA. So that was kind of disappointing because I think the paragon port also offers a lot of the potential for the game, but we'll see what happens. I am excited about the DLC though. I think it's time. we need a change for sure. So exactly, here's the pieces. Actually, these are the pieces right here that I was wearing before. All right, so we lose that 9.3% lightning spear lucky hit. We lost our warmth. We lost our defensive skills. So yeah, that was kind of and plus the casting skill, conjuration skill grants you 25% damage reduction. So we lost all of that by putting Tyrell's Might on. Then we lost this by putting Harlequin Crest on. Another 7.8, lightning spear lucky hit, plus 2 to the conjuration skills, plus 2 to warmth. Cooldown reduction doesn't matter because you're getting great cooldown reduction from Harlequin Crest. But you can see that my headpiece that I was wearing before, I tried to match it up as closely to the Harlequin Crest as I could possibly do. And that's what I ended up with right there. Ken, thank you, bro. Appreciate it. I know you're at work, my friend. You're sweating your balls off here in Florida. All right, let's get back to... We got some stuff still we have to break, I think.
Need something forged?
I know some people were saying they were hoping for... They were wanting kind of a couple people were telling me they were hoping for like a science kind of fiction kind of character. I don't, I mean, there's so many different ways they could have gone with this, but there's a lot of haters for this game too. A lot. We'll do one more run while we're here. A lot of haters. I've got a video right now on my YouTube channel with like 70k 68k views, and you wouldn't believe how many hater comments that I've just gone in there and just cleaned up and took out. Just because I'm like, if you're gonna be a negative Sally, you can go be a negative Sally somewhere else. I'm not really gonna support you wanting to be such a negative, and it wouldn't mind if the comments, it's America, you can say whatever you want, but if the comments weren't so rude and like, man, nasty, I'm like, wow. Okay, I get it. You don't like this game.
My bag.
It seems kind of weird you're replying, however, to my videos if you don't like this game. Why are you watching the video? But whatever. Well, a boss ladder for mats, yeah, I don't want to do it just because it's a pain in the butt. Because you gotta go like, okay, let's say you want to do Durrell. Let's say you want to run the boss Durrell. Let's walk through it right now. The mats that you have, the ladder to get the Durrell mats is, the easiest one is go run Varshan. Gotta run Varshan so you can get the mucus egg. All right, and then you gotta go run Grigori, so you can get the Shard of Agony. But in order to run Varshan, you have to have Malignant Hearts, and Malignant Hearts are going to drop at Helltide, at the Whisper Tree of Whispers, you know, right over here a lot. The tree. You need Malignant Hearts to run Varshan, and Varshan is right here. Varshan's gonna give you the mats to run Durrell. You need the mats to run Grigori, which is right here. Okay. And in order to run him, you have to have Living Steel, which you just farm by running Helltide. Wreaking Havoc, thank you for the follow. You just run Helltide, and you'll get the mats Living Steel. So the ladder for Durrell, which is this boss down here, is first you've got to get Malignant. You've got to get. What am I thinking? You got to have Malignant Hearts for Varshan. Okay, and to get the Malignant Hearts, I recommend one of the fastest ways to do it is either run World Boss, run Tree of Whispers, get these cached and get that cash, or you can even see them on the Helltide bosses drop, and then you'll get the Mucus Eggs for Durrell. Then the other thing you need for Durrell is you got to run Grigori. Grigori requires Living Steel, which you'll get from running these and opening caches, opening the chest inside Helltide. You'll get the Living Steel that you then will use to run Grigori. Grigori will then give you the Shards of Agony. You'll take the Shards of Agony, you'll take the Mucus Eggs that you got there, and you'll come over here and you'll run Durrell with those. I hope that makes sense. You know, it's yeah, a good way is Whispers in Helltide. That's another great way. You'll learn it as you go, and I'm sorry, Randy, I don't mean to be a dick about it. It's a process, and it's one of those processes that you're just going to do as you farm. You know what I mean? You're going to run Helltide, you're going to grab maybe some Malignant Hearts, you're going to grab maybe some Living Steel, and those are going to be the mats you're going to need to run Grigori. They're going to be the mats that you need to run Varshan. Then for like Lord Zir, you need the distilled, is it distilled fear that he uses, or is that glacial feast, or that might be the beast of ice, and one of them is distilled fear and the other one is exquisite blood. I don't remember which one. Yeah, exactly. H2O is right. You're gonna need a board like they have in the detective's police station with a little string attached to each place to really track where all the mats are. But yeah, it's you'll get it as you just start playing the game, getting more active in the game. You'll start seeing these things drop, and those are what you're gonna need. I mean, they just come naturally. You don't necessarily, I mean, yes, you can farm them, absolutely. Malignant Hearts this season is probably, I think, maybe one of the harder things to get. Just takes time. I mean, it's not hard, it just takes time. I don't farm anything anymore, honestly. Yeah, there's really not a faster way. Well, there is a faster way. I'm going to tell you what it is right now, because it's what I do. You will see in my bags, let me show you. I went crazy last night on doing this. You'll see in my bags, I have got hundreds and hundreds of eggs, hundreds and hundreds of distilled fear, hundreds and hundreds of exquisite blood, Malignant Hearts, and that's just part of the group. And I got a whole nother group here on this page. How did I get them? Trade. I went into Trade Channel and I just traded, got them like crazy. It's what I do every single season now. Ever since season 2, I have stopped farming. I am like, I ain't farming squat anymore. I'm tired of wasting my time. It's game gold. I don't care about game gold. So yeah, that's how I've get my mats now. I'm so sick of farming stuff. Yeah, yep. 666, you got it. Okay, should we do one more here? We have already got one. mythic. Let's do one more. H2O, I'm going to do a follower run on Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. I don't know if you're available or not, but feel free to join me and we'll run some torment. Yeah, just the trading is just so much easier. I mean, it really depends on if you've got the gold too, though. If you don't have the gold, then trading probably isn't going to work. I wish they would trade. You could trade mythics. That would be awesome. I know they keep saying they're going to talk about it, but it would be great. Even if you could only just trade with a party, you know, within your party. If I could trade a mythic to my party members, it would be awesome. Yeah, you better farm a lot of gold. Well, I'll tell you how I get so much gold is I go and run tier 7 Horde, and I don't cash in for nothing but gold. I just book and blam. It's like, you know, if you even did, I think tier 5, you run 2 tier 5 infernal hordes and just cash in on the gold, you'll have 50 million gold right there. You'll walk out with 50 million gold. You can go do your spark. You know, so yeah, right there. Yep, Randy, like Randy just said, yeah. You can get 50 million plus gold easy on just a couple runs at tier 5. So now if you do it at tier 7, holy smokes, you're just going to be rolling in the gold. I mean, big time. Do we do one more? We're about full. It means I'm going to have to come back. Let's move on here. Let's go cash this in first. Let's go do some Grigori. Grigori is probably the one I may not have mats for, actually. I don't know if I have a lot of living steel. I didn't trade any for any living steel last night. So I'll bet you I don't have much. Let's look. We got enough to do a few runs, but we ain't got a lot of living steel. Maybe we'll go do Barshan instead. Let's do Barshan. We'll save the rest of those mats so people can run. Yeah, the heads and hands, absolutely. Yeah, you go right down here. Take your heads and hands, bring them right down here to the alchemist. Come in here, go to here, say crafting material. Nope, I'm sorry, wrong one. Summoning items right here, and you'll cash them in for hearts. Okay, so like here's the head, you cash it in for hearts. Here's the hand, cash in it for hearts, and here's the blackened femur, cash it in for hearts. I have a feeling that these will probably be disappearing because they don't seem to make sense anymore. If you remember back in season 2, that was when they really were using those. Yeah, I'm buying them for. I've seen them a little bit cheaper. When I see them, I can see them like maybe at 400 million sometimes, and that's when I really jump on them. And I'll empty every single thing the guy has. I mean, I'll buy every single thing he's got. If he's in the 400 to 450 million gold, I'm grabbing all of it. I mean, you got to keep in mind I have 1 trillion gold. I've got 40 trillion gold. So. And that's been really just infernal hordes. It's why I hate infernal hordes. I ain't gonna lie. It's why I absolutely freaking hate it, because I ran it over and 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 over. And I'm just like, oh my God, please, at least give me a different boss. I'm just like, it just drives me crazy. I hated it during the PTR. I told Blizzard then, during the PTR, I told them, this is going to be the biggest bore. I mean, awesome that it drops mats. Awesome that you're doing so much XP. But for God's sakes, give me a different boss every now and then. It's just, if you run it like I do, it's just, you know, it's like, wow. It just gets old. Right now the gold is used for enchanting. I mean, for sure, it's used for enchanting. Yeah, buying mats and trade. That's for sure. That's where it's used a lot. There's a few things that gold is important for masterworking. Yeah, there's a few things that it's important for. Okay, we said we were going to go do Varshan, so let's go do some. Did I pick everything up over there? I don't remember. I gotta go check. More ways to modify would be great. Yeah, okay, we did. We picked up everything, so let's go up here. We'll do Varshan. You gotta remember, mythics now drop everywhere, okay? And all bosses have the chance to drop mythics, and so do some chests. Oh, every chest actually, and even in Helltide. I mean, they will drop. It's rare, but they will. So there is a guy that did a whole video on what he said, and it makes sense to me too. Is that it makes more sense to come here and run Torment Varshan, because he's probably the easiest one for beginners to use to run Torment on. And he's right, it probably is this between this and, yeah, well, the bricking, the tempering is going to go away with this new, thank God, we're going to have a reset temper. You're going to get the reset scrolls. I think it's going to be, I am with you on that. I have bricked a lot of freaking pieces. And it's really disappointing because some of the pieces are just like, man, this is the piece I've been waiting for. And then I go temper it, and it's done. Now here is why I wear the Tyro's Might. Although I am losing about 40% of my damage, look, I am just standing in his, you know, fire or whatever that is that he throws on the ground. I don't even have to move out of it because Tyro's Might is just absorbing all of the damage for me. I don't have to worry about it. And there is no Uber. But you do lose, I do lose some damage by wearing Tyro's Might for sure. But it's not something that it's hurting me. Yep, they announced that yes, there are gonna be, there's a reset scrolls, and you're gonna be able to reset your, I don't know how you get them or anything yet. They didn't tell us that part, but they did say that tempering will have reset scrolls that you can fix the piece and you can retemper it again. You reset it, which is awesome. It's like, thank goodness. But I don't know how you get those scrolls. They didn't go into that detail. Yeah. There's going to be some good changes with the DLC. I mean, I'm hoping so. I really would like to see, in my opinion, more improvements with the Paragon board. I think that there's so much opportunity there, and especially because after playing Path of Exile, I'm like, geez, you guys are missing all the opportunity, because that's what makes Path of Exile so awesome. Is their skill tree is just the best. Oh, only in the raid. I think you're right, Matt. I think that I've seen that too, that people were complaining that they were locking the scrolls behind the raids. And I was like, well, this game has been one of the least toxic player-based games that I've ever played in. Okay, we'll save that. Somebody might need that. Again, guys, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Send me an invite now. Made Biker #1605. We will run tournaments together. I will give you any gear that I have in my bags that you need. because I have a lot and I'm just gonna break it if somebody doesn't take it. And I mean, I've got duplicates of stuff because I give stuff away a lot. So we're gonna put this ring, because this ring does have a GA on it. What is it? It is potent warding. Okay, so there you go. That's a good GA too. It's better. Yeah, that's the ring I'm wearing too. So we'll throw that in here for if somebody's gonna need it. And there's more stuff in here. And my bag is getting real full. Okay, we still have one empty slot here we can put stuff in. I can't add any more tabs, so that's what I'm saying. If people don't take this stuff on the weekend runs, it gets broke, because I can't afford to just sit on it and let it take up my space in my bags. All right, cool. I will definitely get you. I'll accept it. I promise you. Tonight, this afternoon. I've been accepting them. We've got a few people that are lined up. It's going to be good. I think it's going to be fun times. I'm hoping that people will get stuff they need. I'm hoping that I may have stuff that you need that you could just grab, and it ends your whole quest. It just makes life easier for you, and it makes life easier for me that I don't have to keep it in my bag. I'll tell you, mythic farming it's not as painful as it was during season 2 and 3. And even a little bit, it was kind of painful in season 4 as well, to be honest. Well, they weren't called mythics then, they were just called Ubers, but I can't tell you how many 1,000 times I ran. I mean, literally, I'm not exaggerating. Thousands of times I ran Durrell with followers, trying to get them gear, trying to get me gear. It was terrible. It was fun, but it was terrible.
My burden.
And we're full again. This is why I wish, you know, that chest that's in Infernal Hordes? Give me that in here. Put that in every boss area. Have I done a YouTube video of this build? Not really, because it's basically H2O. It's really just a cookie cutter right off of Max Roll GG. I mean, this is the first season I've really done that. And I mean, it's literally right off of, this build is right off of Max Roll. So yeah, I have not done a video on this build. You know, previous seasons I did because they were builds that I was creating, but this season I'm just doing all cookie cutter. Because of DLC, it's a short season. So here's another one, exact same ring with the exact same GA on it. So we'll throw that in here too. So I can tell you right now, guys, I've got one bag, one slot, two slot. That one slot has got a few open areas. Second slot, 100% full. Third slot, 100% full. And we're working on a fourth slot of just unique gear that if you need it, you can grab it. What's up, Station? Good to see you. Yeah, I could just use T. Yeah, I could just go T. I'm just in a habit of doing it that way, to be honest. But you're right, I could. Absolutely. I'm not the most efficient guy. You just haven't moved to the full build. Yeah, but see, on this build, the I now just went, you know, because there's like what I think there's leveling, then there's end game, pit push, and then there's pit push, and then I think there's Uber, and I just switched to the Uber build on this because of the fact that now I've got the Ubers on. Yeah, I always go to Kaivashan too. I always do, but here, when except for when I'm running these bosses, I try to go whoever's closest to me. And you're right, I should just hit T. I just never do. Probably because I'm used to just using my mouse, to be honest. So that's probably why I don't even reach up and use the T. Where is the T? Oh, the T is fairly close to the number keys, though, I guess, isn't it? So Tyro's Might allows me to just stand in his stuff like I'm doing right there. I am doing less damage due to wearing Tyro's Might, but I'm not out to one-shot him. I'm just out to drop him. So patience is all I need. And Tyro's Might lets me just stand in his stuff. All right, so we aren't seeing any freaking mythics. What bosses have we not done? We haven't done Andario. I don't know how many mats I have for Andario, because Andario is the one boss I hate because you can't interrupt his mechanic. His mechanic is going to finish no matter what you do. Yeah, overbuild lightning spear source is incredible. Landslide druid is pretty incredible too, and my barrage rogue, I think once I can get him wearing the right gear, he's going to be pretty good. But yeah, this is the lightning spear sorcerer. But this is really a cookie cutter build right off of max roll. I'm so impressed. I don't usually use these cookie cutter builds, and first season I've really strictly used them, and I am really impressed with them, honestly. That is one of the issues that they do warn you about on this build, that if you do wear the Harlequin crest and Tyro's Might on this build, you may run into mana issues, and you might have to do some changes and have some mana per second. I am not. I do run out of mana, but it hasn't really affected me. Well, that stinks. Now you can see, though, the good thing about running Barshan is we're getting the match for Durrell. See, I did it again. I didn't hit T. I just keep doing that. It took me forever to hit E to exit dungeons, honestly. I never would do it. I would always click, go to the map, find where I want to go there, go. I don't know why. It's just I don't ever use the keyboard very often. All right, so should we go back and I don't think we've done very many runs here. It feels like more than what it is because you constantly have to leave to go empty your bags. My big complaint about this game. I have not tried the Andario Rogue this season, but I have heard that it's awesome, that it's absolutely incredible. But the thing about that build, which, you know, I'm surprised that so many people have used it, is you need that stinking, you need the helm piece. And you know, it's just, it's one of those that I'm surprised so many people have it. But I don't like Andario too much. You can't interrupt his mechanic, and that's the only thing I don't like about him. No matter what, you gotta go through that whole process. But I mean, it does make him different at least. I don't know what kind of, how many mats I have for Andario. I would have to go and check. I don't know that I have that many. Okay, so what boss have we not done? We haven't done Grigori, and that's only because I don't have a lot of living steel, and I'm trying to save what I have for when there we'll use T. And see, it took me to a totally different place. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've done that too, H2O. I mean, I get lazy and I just am like, I'll fight a change. Yeah, see, now it took me all the way back here for no freaking reason. But unstable currents is actually pretty darn good once you get it rolling. It's really powerful, but it does require some paragon changes and things of that. Yeah, it's weird. That's why I don't use the T very often, I think, is because it does this weird stuff sometimes. It'll take you, I mean, like now I'm far from Varshan. It's like, why would you bring me here? But it is what it is.
Wanderer.
I guess I can grab these now. This is one thing I want to talk to people about. I've been showing you. People don't understand, okay? TikTok, it's hard for you to see it probably, but this bottom row, you can't see it. But when it gets all these green check marks on it, people think they're done. They think it's all done here and they never come back. But look. See, it still keeps giving. Look, when I keep clicking, now look, it changed to infinity. It's going to keep giving you these caches throughout the entire game, throughout the season. All right. So you don't want to ignore these because, I mean, especially if you're, I mean, not now, maybe so much at this level, but it's going to give you some mats. Usually it's going to give you some gear. Every now and then you'll pull a unique out of it. I've seen better gear dropping from the goblins right now, you know, but I mean, it's free and you're doing the work to get it anyway, so you just will grab it. So why don't we do this? Since I don't want that, we'll do some Horde real quick. Take a quick boss break and we'll just go run some Horde. And then we'll go back to bosses. Give them some time to reset their gear, maybe. It doesn't work that way. I wish it did. We did a big, huge thing on season 1, season 2, I think it was, maybe 1. Yeah, legendary goblins are great. They drop uniques. I showed that yesterday. Absolutely. The best barbarian build this season. Stygian, thank you for the follow. This season has been Bash Barb, I think Flay has been another one that's an S tier. But I've seen some guys with the Whirlwind Barbarian, and Barbarian is my favorite class of all, that have been awesome. Dude, I know, right? Loot filters. Why is Diablo ignoring that? It's like unbelievable. Path of Exile is so great with it, but I'll tell you, the people that did it right was Last Epoch. Last Epoch loot filters are built into the game, and I'll tell you another thing that Last Epoch did right. Inside this right here, there is a little anvil right there on your bag. Okay, it's right there, an anvil. I think it's actually up at the top, but there's an anvil. You can break any piece on the fly, no matter where you're at, and it makes up. So it makes gear space for you. Bacon Dreams, thank you for the follow or the subscription. Thank you. It's so awesome. Last Epoch did some things very, very good, very unique. Having a loot filter built into the game was awesome. And that's about all they did. I didn't like Last Epoch's end game content. I hated it. Okay, so there's a tier 8. Let's do a 7. Let's upgrade this. Whoops, we don't need to go in there. Let's go. I don't want to do an 8. All right, let's come in here. We'll do a 7. Yeah, going back to town just to find an NPC or, you know, whatever to break your gear is ridiculous. And here's the thing that's killer. You're going to see it right now when I go into the Infernal Horde. Diablo is kind of teasing us with it right now. They've put the stash box in the Infernal Horde boss area. So that's what we've been asking for since before season 1, when the game first came out. We've been saying if you put a stash box in each boss quarters, that means that you can access the mats. That means that you can put gear away. You never have to leave. You could sit in that boss area for hours on end and do nothing but just farm. And they refused to do it all these seasons. Now this season they put it in the Infernal Hordes, and I'm like, you bastards, you're teasing us by doing that. What do we got here? World boss coming up soon. But yeah, been asking for it and asking for it and asking for it. We ain't getting it. Oh, well, before I go in there, let me do this. Let's take that and we'll do that. Yeah, we've been asking for it for a long time, man. They're just fighting us on it 100%. I don't understand why. Or put an enchanter or blacksmith, you know, you could even do that, yeah. But I understand, like, might be weird to put an NPC in the boss quarters and you're having to fight. But I mean, somebody made a comment yesterday to have your pet be able to teleport with all the gear that you could put it on back to town, and I thought, okay, to a stash box. I was like, okay, that's not a bad idea. But you're gonna see here when I get to the bosses, there's gonna be a stash box in there, and I'm like, okay, that's exactly what we're asking for. Why can't you add that to every boss? Simplest thing. You've already showed that you can do it. But I've always been, I'm not gonna lie. I played World of Warcraft for almost 20 years. I'm super critical of Blizzard. I always have been. I try to give them credit when they do it right, but it seems like they do a lot wrong. They learn the hard way. They have a good, sometimes a good, they'll come around and fix it eventually. But sometimes it takes years, man. In World of Warcraft, some of the things that we were asking for changes, it took years. And I guess I wouldn't be as critical, except for, you know, it's not very difficult. And especially when you're going to see in this boss area, there's going to be a stash box. So that just tells you right away. The new raid, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be cool. But I know there's a lot of people complaining about it. Which I don't think is going to be that big of a deal if they can get the social communication working in the game, which they say they have. They say it's going to work, so we'll see. You know, if they're able to have group finder, some type of method of that, then yes, I think the raids are going to be a great thing, great addition. But first I need to see, do you have group finder working? Because right now you're kind of on your own looking for a raid. You know, I mean, there is no raid in this now, but if there was, good luck.
I'm not ready yet.
So you're gonna see that when I do this, when I get this and I get to the boss, I'm not gonna collect anything. Well, they feared me. I'm not gonna collect anything but mats. I'm not gonna, you won't see me grab the gear. I think the gear that drops in here is pretty crappy, to be honest with you, but I know people have gotten good pieces from it, but I have never. And so I realized that wasting 60 ethers on a chest with gear in it has been nothing but a waste of 60 ethers. 60 ethers could have opened up 3 chests of mats. And like right now, this Neotherin is, why would this is the one thing that I find very strange that Blizzard did. The pit has become obsolete. I don't understand why you would go run the pit. And maybe there's a reason. I don't know what it is right now. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But they've kind of made the pit obsolete. They kind of made the world boss obsolete. It seems like they're kind of breaking their own game. I'm glad they're doing it. It's way more efficient, that's for sure. Especially because if you ran high level pits before, Neotherin was a terrible drop rate. It was terrible. And in here, oh my goodness, it's awesome. You get Stygian stones from the pit. That's true. That's a good point. You do get them there. And in here, you're maybe get 2. You know, opening up this chest. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a good point. The pits are a little more chill. You're right there too. Yeah, you were getting off right when somebody gave you an invite. Yeah, the game right now, to find a group to play with is not easy to do. But I think now they're saying that they've got the, you know, group finder working, and we're gonna see it here, and I'm looking forward to it. This is a short season. I mean, for me, with the DLC coming out on the 8th, and I think I just saw a reveal of what to expect for season 6. So I didn't really look at the video. I just saw the title. Maybe it was bullshit. Maybe a clickbait, but I don't know. I was gonna stay with Path of Exile. I wasn't gonna do season 5. I already said I was gonna skip it after I ran the PTR because I hated it so much. But I had people contact me and ask me to do one character, and one character turned into 3 characters, and it's like, man, now I can't get away from it. But I do enjoy Path of Exile. I play a lot of Lost Ark. I've done a lot of. I don't stream Lost Ark anymore. I used to. But I still play it. And I don't mean to be ignoring your chat right now. I apologize, but as you guys saw me yesterday, if I start watching chat, I will die. I'm using the Fist of Fate, yes.
I'm not ready yet.
October 8th, yeah, October 8th is the DLC, so I'm looking forward to it. We need a change.
I'm not ready yet.
One of the best things that Blizzard enacted was the PTRs, because after season 3's fiasco, I think they realized that we better do something or we're not going to have anybody playing this game anymore. Let me grab my crackling energy. There we go. Yeah, but you'll find a better pair. Just keep wearing them, because I did that for a long time too. You can change your cursor color, yes, and you can change your size of your cursor. I actually helped a couple people because this cursor, you can make it smaller or bigger by just using your Windows. You've been going crazy with the game. Yeah, it's pretty fun game. This is a good season. If this is your first season, this is a good one to come into. I think season 4 was a lot of fun too. I did one of every single class in season 4. I enjoyed that a lot. And again, season 4, I did not like the PTR on that season, but they made some great changes, which is what the PTR is for. It's so we can verbalize to them, hey, this sucks. This is why it sucks. And hopefully they'll listen and change it. And they have. The only thing they really kind of ignored on this PTR was, I know there was a lot of other streamers that said the same thing, that, hey, don't have it be the same boss every single time, but it's their game. They can choose their own thing. I think it would have been more interesting if you would have cycled through some bosses here, but I suppose that's got some problem. I think a lot of their attention was on the DLC, to be honest. I don't blame them. All right, we still got 3 waves. I'm not carrying any crackling energy at all. So 3. Yeah, better nightmare dungeon rotation would be good. Maybe more nightmare dungeons would be. Yeah, lightning spear. This is lightning spear build. Yep, he's correct. Yeah, you can find this build on maxroll.gg. Yep, absolutely. Thank you, chat. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I think more dungeons would be helpful. Well, maybe not more, but maybe like you said, maybe a little bit different. Because sometimes when you're doing nightmare dungeons, you're just doing the same one over and over. It seems like a lot of times it's just they get repetitive. So yeah, I feel you there. I agree with that. I don't know if you've ever played Path of Exile, but that's what's cool about maps and Path of Exile is you run at end game content. You're doing what's kind of like dungeons, only they call them maps, but you can apply these modification, these mods to the map, and you can make it maybe have more of blight, or you can make it have, which if you don't play Path of Exile, you don't know what that is probably, but you can make it have stronger bosses. You can have it have more bosses. You can make it have, I mean, so much variation with just simple dungeons. I mean, Path of Exile is free, and it blows me away how awesome of a game it is. Absolutely incredible for being a free game. Right, you could do that, right? Yep, like I said, you could have different choices with using the ether would be a smart idea too. Well, you got me there. Got a little bit lag and stuck in that. Boy, he stunned me. I didn't notice. He might have stunned me actually. This is actually Creambark right here. Creambark is actually the worst of all of the Ether Lords. I think he's one of the hardest ones to drop. He's got like major hit points, man. But luckily I can just stand there and take it, but it's like, come on, just die, would you? All right, what do we got? One more wave. This is a tier 7, and I hate tier 8s only because it's not that big of a difference between the 7, and 7 is so much easier than the 8. It's so weird, but it is. Yeah, they do eat up a lot of time, but they give you some pretty good ether, though. I mean, but they do eat up a lot of time, especially at this level. Wait a minute, I don't want to do that one. Let's do that one. Because if you do a tier 5 Ether Lord, they drop pretty quick, but you get up here to past tier 6 and they like can just take some hits, man. They will just stand there and take it. I let my shield down there. That was not good. once you get past tier 6, these lords, these ether lords can just stand here and they'll last. This takes forever. It's like, come on, man. You gotta die. You know you want to die, just die. This is why I don't like tier 8, because I always choose these ether lords, and you're right, I probably shouldn't, because the reward you get for it isn't that terrific. But I usually always choose them, and you're right, at tier 8, these are the worst too.
I'm not ready.
That's it. Now let's go kill these bosses and be done with this. Yeah, it's not worth it. You're right. I mean, I don't know why. I've always thought it was, but I just always have clicked them. I just like, give me ether. But you're absolutely right. For what you get, 3, it's not worth it. And then I try to line up these guys. So let's see, we're gonna have 2 of them going that way. I try to hit 2 at the same time if I can get them lined up right.
I need time.
All right, now he's getting angry. Come on, let's go. This guy's gonna run. Nope, he's not. Okay, good. Okay, so now all I do, I don't waste any of my... Okay, so first I want to show you this. There. Why can't they do that in every single boss dungeon? Right there. That's all I asked for. That's it. Yeah, if you can get the Surging Fiends, that is a good one, and they're super good, absolutely. But this is what I'm asking for to put in every boss area. With that right there, that allows you now to just replenish your mats all day long, and to put gear there to keep your bags empty. You know, but yeah, it's... You know, isn't it crazy though? Because really, this is the simplest thing for them to do. It's already something that is already created. We're not asking them to create something new. It's already created. And now you just proved, this is the thing that pisses me off, because I've been asking for this, and I know other streamers have been since the season, since the game released. This is teasing us right here. When you do that, it's kind of like a big haha to us, like, look, there it is, guys, we did do it, but we only put it in 1, and it's like, you boogers. Okay, so I don't, and I know some people do, but I don't open these. I've opened them for a lot, and I've never seen anything good come out of them. Not saying that they don't, but I have never seen it. I can just go right here and I just click this over and over. I wish they gave me a way that I could say use all, so I don't have to stand here and keep doing this, but yeah. But instead I have to constantly be doing that. And if they gave me a button that said use all, I could go all the way down until I don't have any left and go and cash in for the gold. Now, if you want a lot of gold, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you saw I started with like 300 some ethers. If I would have came over here and just clicked the gold, millions. You would already have your 50 million and more for your sparks. I mean, millions. I sat here and just did this over and over and over and over. Cool, awesome. I did. A friend request gamer. I did. I think I already accepted your friend request, Bobini. But yes, if I didn't, I will see it today, and I will get it accepted. Yeah. See, I never played Diablo 1 and 2, so I guess you probably have something there that if you did play those, this may be way better than that. It looks like I got something in here now. Oh yeah, tons of stuff. We'll just leave that in there for right now. Okay, so what I want to do, the reason I did that was, and I could have actually just gone and ran a tier 5, because really what I need is Ingolith. And I just need it to finish off. I want to make sure, because I might be wrong. This piece right here. Yeah, see, we just need to get some Ingolith. We don't need a buttload of it, but so we're going to have to come down here. And I don't like doing this. It's actually, it was my big complaint in the PTR for season 4 about the pit, was I used to say, why do I have to trade in my Neotherin to get the lower level mats? You should give me the lower level mats that I deserve to get. If I'm running a pit 80, I should get Ingolith and I should get Albudicite and I should get my Neotherin. But instead, you only give me my Neotherin, and then I have to go and it's a terrible exchange drop rate, and then I have to go and trade it to get a lower level mat, especially if all of a sudden I decide, oh crap, I'm going to change this piece of gear. Well, that is just, I just really, during the PTR, I tried to tell them that doesn't seem very fair. You know, it seems to me like I should be able to, well, I do have Ingolith. So what is it? Oh, no, I don't. I see. So we're just going to start. I think we need quite a bit of it for my other alts. So we're just going to do 100 of it for right now. And let's go see if that's enough to just get done what I want to get done here right now. All right, so we're gonna put this in there. I'll go with the Harlequin Crest.
Unexpected.
I think I've re-rolled this thing a bunch of times just with the first, you know, it's not what I really wanted, but we'll take it. Okay. So now, I think it's this one I wanted to do next. And I knew you were going to do that to me. So now we're going to have to go run another one. Oh, the struggle's real. You get the match back. Yeah, thank goodness. Yeah, thank goodness. But, you know, the pit I thought was so unfair. You know, the other thing that I've noticed, guys, and I don't know if this is supposed to be that way, but now, since the last update, whenever you do anything here, in here, and I want you guys to notice it when you do it on your character, what you're going to find out is, as you do it, you don't see it because it's covering it. But when you're done, your health goes down. You're losing health when you're over here doing this. I never noticed that before. And I'm like, did that just start happening since the update? But, you know, I don't know. Because now I notice every single time I do a masterwork, my health is dropped. And I'll restore it. And if I go back in, let's see, do I have something else that I can... It's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. Okay, I don't. But yeah, it's every single time now. I don't understand what the whole point of that is. I thought I had a piece here that was not. Let's see. No.
Huh.
Oh, you know what? Duh. You're right, Randy. I'll bet you that's exactly what it is. See? That's why I need viewers. Because you're right. That's probably exactly what it is. As the max stats are increasing, this isn't increasing with it. And it's making me think that it's going down because when I'm doing it, it blocks it. I can't see it. You know, it's my windows, it blocks it here. So you can't see it. But yeah, I bet you you're absolutely right. That's exactly what it is. Now, what sucks is I kind of have to go do another one. And I'm not a big fan of them. I'd rather go farm a boss real quick in between. Just to get away from it for a second. Because I really... The Infernal Hordes to me are super, super boring. But then again, so is running the same boss over and over and over and over and over. So yeah, I see the irony in that. For sure. What am I doing on here? We've got... I don't know if that's enough to do Andario. Let's see. And we do have a few in there. Let's go see if that's enough. I don't remember what you need there. I should, but Andario is the one boss I don't like. It's just because I can't interrupt its mechanics. No matter what you do, you gotta just suffer through the whole stinking thing. All right, he's over here. Ugh, wrecking havoc. You said ugh, and I think you meant when I was talking about Path of Exile. A lot of people are scared of Path of Exile, but you shouldn't be. It's not intimidating. Once you get into it, I've helped a lot of people get started in it. It's not a scary game at all, but I do understand why people get intimidated. But once they get into it, Dusty, thank you for the follow. Once they get into it, they realize, oh, there you are. Come on. Sorry, I couldn't pass that up. He was right in my face. I had to take him. Okay. And that's good enough. And let's go. I'm not going to open the bags now because they're just going to take up my bag space.
I need time to do that.
All right, take care, Dusty Tokyo. Thank you for being here. How did I get so much blood? I bought it all. I traded it all. I traded for everything I've got, honestly. Every single thing I've got, I've just traded on the trade channel. I don't farm anymore. I've gotten so fed up with farming. I started doing it last season, and it's when I started to realize that why have I ever farmed? What was I thinking? And I got turned on to it by another streamer that showcased it during his stream, and when I seen it, I was like, why am I farming anything? That's so smart. So yeah, I've stopped farming now, and I just go through the trade channel and buy everything. This is why this boss kind of drives me crazy, because you cannot interrupt his mechanics. He's just gonna do his mechanic no matter what you do. He is the one boss though that will damage me though through Tyrell's might. I will say that. This right here, this little crossfire, if you stand in it long enough, you're dead. Look at that. Look at that. What was it? Look at that. Harlequin crest. There you go. There you go. There you go. Is it better than the one I'm wearing? The one I'm wearing's already been masterwork, so probably not, but there you go. That's our second mythic today. That's a good sign. So it was a good idea to take a break from Infernals and come in here and run this guy. Okay, well that was good. But yeah, see, I don't buy. I mean, I don't farm anything. Yes, yeah. These have yeah, and it's really kind of probably the same odds, to be honest. I mean, I have never gotten one with a GA on it ever, but I know that they do. I know that they're available, and I know that you can get them crafted too, with a GA on it. It doesn't matter whether it's crafted or if it's a drop. There was some speculation for a long time by some people that thought that crafted ones could not have a GA, but that's been proven wrong. They can easily have a GA. Come on, go down. I keep trying to get to the boss, and I keep thinking I'm going to drop that thing, and I didn't. So you can interrupt his last phase there, but that's about it. He's going to go through his first two phases no matter what.
I cannot carry more.
All right, we're full. Now I'm afraid to use the T key, because since it took me all the way as far as it could away from Barshan, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to use it no more. I don't know if anybody here has got any experience with MCNs. And if you do, I would love to hear from you. Multi-channel networks, I would love to hear from you, because I stream everywhere, right? And a multi-channel network is somebody that wants to work with you, and they want to sponsor. They kind of want to advertise. They work by getting you more of everything. All right. And you're trying to get the Doombringer and Tyromite. Yeah, I want the Doombringer too for my druid. But these MCNs, okay, so I had one contact me, and it wanted to work with me. It asked it, but what I don't like about them, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit, is they want to take, I don't know how to explain it, but they want to disperse your funds rather than like TikTok. Okay, TikTok gives me money, right? Or YouTube. Let's use YouTube. Or not TikTok, Twitch, I was going to say, but YouTube gives me money, right? Or you guys on TikTok, when you donate diamonds to my stream, right? That's money that I make. I get that money. That's, you know, and for a retired guy, that's cool. I love it. Well, an MCN wants to fork over that money to you, which I don't understand. Well, why do I need you for that? But they're also doing a lot of promotional. They're doing a lot of things. You know, I have a whole merchandise store that I don't market. I don't push it. I use it for me. I buy this stuff off of it for me. So I don't know. I don't know. I had a place that contacted me. It was actually, I'll tell you who it was. It was Joy Media out of China. Asked me, but they sent me a contract. They sent me the whole 9 yards, and I refused it. I declined it at the last minute, only because it has these speculations in it that I can't just walk away from them. I have to give them a 30-day notice if I want to walk away, which I'm like, is that normal? It doesn't seem normal. Yeah, Yeah, that's exactly it. That's what you're saying right there, Keo, is exactly what I was afraid of. Is, and I know some people the same thing that you've just described, and so I declined it. There is one that I would like to work with. I won't name the name right now, but I would be happy if they found me. And they allow you to walk away at any time. But you know, you see some of these streamers that they've got guys that are hired to do nothing but sit in the chat and answer the chat for you and keep up with all of it, where I can't watch all, you know, I've got Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, you know, Facebook, all chatting with me, and I just can't keep up. When I feel bad sometimes, because I'm like, these are good followers. I got 17,000 followers just on Facebook, you know, and I can't keep up with it sometimes. So sometimes I feel bad about it. Yeah, I've seen Mythics have dropped in Horde. Yes, I have. It's very rare, but it has. Mythics have a chance to drop everywhere. Yeah, that's probably what I should do, is just try to hire somebody. But again, it's not like, to be honest with you, it's not like, okay, I'm fully retired. I just retired a few months ago, right? I can tell you right now, if it wasn't for my social security, there is no way, there is no way I could make a living off of streaming. Streaming actually costs me more money than it does anything, to be honest. But I do it because I love it, you know, and I've been a gamer since 1984. Yeah, I'm an old fart. 1984, the very first color computer was released. And it was, what was it? It was 128. It was 64K memory, 8-inch floppy drives. Then the Color Computer 2 came out with 128K memory and 4-inch floppy drives. Then the Color Computer 3 came out with 512K of memory, and it had the little 4-inch plastic disk drives. Yeah, I had all of those when that first came out. I mean, for a long time, that was my field, was programming and computers. So it was one of those things that I just had. I want to put this piece because I think somebody might need it. Let's put it in here. And it looks like we got a bunch of junk in there too. So let's do this. The Accommodator 64C. Oh, yeah. And yes, I played Zork in 84. Yeah. We were just talking the other day. Well, soon you'll be opening up that gutter business. No. God, no. Oh, my God, bro. And garden business. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to let you all in on the little joke that I've shared with most of my Twitch followers. Definitely know the story. So I'm retired, right? And one day I said to the wife, I would like to have a garden. And my wife went ballistic. She's like, oh yeah, let's have a raised garden. So here's what happened. 42 bricks got delivered to the front of my house that I had to then carry all the way around to the back of my house and build this almost not quite waist high, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but this beautiful raised garden. Then I had to carry 30 bags of dirt from the front to the back to fill it. After all that was done, and I'm exhausted and I'm thinking, thank God this is over. Nope, because the roof overhung the garden by about 3 to 4 inches. And so then the wife is like, oh, we need gutters. I'm like, what are you talking about? All I wanted to do was put seeds in the dirt, for God's sakes. Nope, we need gutters. So this is the project that I'm still working on to this very day. It's been going on forever. I've got one side, which is 80 foot done. I've got the front done, which is 45 foot done. I'm still mounting the security cameras back, still mounting. I mean, oh my God. And then Friday, which I will not be streaming Friday, my buddy is coming over and we're going to do the other 80 foot side and the other 45 foot side. I'm just telling you, man, don't get married. And now it's a big joke with my buddy too. He's like constantly telling me, hey man, you gonna tell your wife any other ideas that you would like to do since you're retired? I'm like, hell no. I ain't telling the wife nothing. Aztec man, look, yeah. That was for my good friend, follower on Twitch, H2O. H2O gave me grief one day, jokingly, about how my characters were multicolored. You would come here and they were a different color, everything was just whatever it was is what it was. And so one weekend I just sat and did all my characters and made them look beautiful, just so I could go, hey, look, H2O, look at what I got. And you know what was sad? I don't think he noticed until I pointed it out. I'm just giving you shit, H2O. I actually loved it. I thought it was funny as hell. All right, let's go one more time here. Oh, no, we don't got no more dolls. So we'll end that and we'll go do another Infernal Horde. Yay. Yeah, the wife knows I stream. Yeah. Yep. Yep, she sure does. My wife is from Lithuania, okay? My wife is from Lithuania. I met her in Chicago. I used to live in Chicago. My wife is from Lithuania. If you don't know anything about Lithuania, Lithuania was the very first country to break away from the Soviet Union. They broke away, and then the Soviet Union, Gorbachev decided that he wanted to go in and kill everybody and make them come back, and they didn't. Reagan sent troops to help, and when Reagan did that, after we helped him, Reagan said that we're going to give you a lottery. And what the lottery was is if you won the lottery, then you got to come to America, and you could stay here. You didn't have to go through that whole visa process and everything else. And that's what my wife did. My wife won the lottery, and she actually didn't want to come because once you learn about the Soviet Union and stuff, and they teach them that we are really terrible people here. And that the things, yeah, she was in the Baltic states right there with Estonia, Latvia. I've been to Europe a lot. My job took me all over the world. Lots of South Korea, lots of Ukraine, lots of Russia, lots of Lithuania, lots of different places. But yeah, she came with the lottery. And when she came, she said she couldn't believe it. She could not believe that what they were taught was so, propaganda that, you don't know it until you come here. And so, yeah, she won the lottery, came here. I met her in Chicago. And I'll tell you how I met her in Chicago, okay? I was an author. My job was, back then I was a programmer, but I wrote 3 books, okay? And I was doing a book signing at Barnes & Noble. And she came in and bought my book. And in the back of my book, it has my publisher, my email address, right? And so she contacted me through that and asked me if she could practice learning English. So for 2 years, just over the internet, I was helping her learn English. And then I was single and she wanted to meet for dinner, and I was a pretty happy single guy. I said, nope, I got to go to Ukraine, sorry. So I went to Ukraine for work, came back, and she was again, let's meet for dinner. Ended up meeting for dinner. Next thing you know, we're married. So yeah, it's kind of a crazy story. I think, you know, my wife could tell you horror stories about Russia and, you know, about, I don't think they want peace in the world, you know, and after I've got a lot of experience in Russia myself with just work and, of course I never really lived there full time, but, you know, my wife could tell you horror stories of things that they had to tolerate, and there wasn't no choice. You know, I've always asked her, well, I don't understand, why do you guys not stand up and fight? And she's like, because we're afraid they'll come and kill us. She's like, there's no if. It's like they will come and kill you. And I'm like, okay. You know, when they were in school, they learned how to load and unload, build, how to disassemble and reassemble a Glock blindfolded. We didn't. I didn't learn that in school. I don't know about you, but and the reason they learned it is they were told that the Americans are going to come and kill them all. You know, and it's crazy, insane. It's definitely made me appreciate things differently. That's for sure. You know, I'm very saddened by Ukraine because I spent a lot of time in Ukraine for work. I had a lot of friends in Ukraine, and you go to Ukraine and like you used to drive around Ukraine and all you saw was these huge fields of sunflowers everywhere. It was one of their big products. Now, gone, wiped out, nothing there. Yeah, we've gone back to Lithuania a few times, quite a few times. Yeah, quite a few. Yeah. The last time we went back was her mother died at 90, I think she was 97. And so we went back for that. And, but yeah, we've gone back for other reasons, just to enjoy it as well. I'm a big history buff. So I loved going to Lithuania and seeing the old castles. You know, those are super freaking cool, man. But yeah, it's very interesting for sure. My favorite place to ever go, and I spent 9 months there for work, was South Korea. I was there in 1988, which was when the Olympics were there. So they gave me free tickets for the Olympics for every day, and I went every single day. You know, it was awesome. And when I was there in the Olympics, they were firebombing, the people in the street were firebombing the torch carrier. And I asked this girl, why are you guys doing that? You guys are gonna kill this it was an old man. Why are you doing that? And she's like, because our Korean president picked a Japanese man to carry the torch. And she said, we will kill him. And I'm like, oh my God. And, you know, again, Koreans were under Japanese rule for many, many years. And so they hated them. They hated each other. It was just weird that why would your president pick somebody like that? But yeah, there are a lot of Russian people in Mexico. Actually, there's a lot of Russian people here in Florida. Huge Lithuanian community. In fact, St. Petersburg is where most of them are. And in Chicago is considered Little Lithuania. In fact, that's where most Lithuanians, when they come from Lithuania, if they win the lottery or if they just come to visit, they go to Chicago because there's actually Lithuanian restaurants. There's, it's a huge community in Chicago. Lithuanian churches, which most of them are Catholic churches, but they're in Lithuanian language. So yeah, it's interesting. Definitely interesting for sure. But yeah, South Korea is my favorite country. I've always told the wife I'd like to take her back there. Take her there so she could enjoy it. The culture is just so cool. Nicest people I ever seen in my life. I mean, oh my gosh. I had to travel to Kumi, Korea from Seoul, which was like a 4-hour train ride. And I'm carrying all these bags because I'm going to be there for 9 months. So I'm carrying a ton of luggage. And this old man out of nowhere comes up behind me and grabs my bags and starts carrying them. And I'm thinking, like, I'm from Chicago at the time. I'm thinking, son of a bitch, what are you doing taking my bags? And then he explains to me in broken English that He's gonna take me to my destination to make sure I get there safe. He got on that train. He rode that entire 4-hour trip with me. Wouldn't take money from me. Wouldn't take nothing, and just to make sure I got there safe. And I was like, wow. So then I'm there and I remember the very first week on a Wednesday. I'm in my hotel and I'm woke up by literally, it sounds like these jets are like right now. Keep in mind, I'm like miles away from the DMZ zone. I mean, just a few miles. I'm very close to it. And these jets sound like they're right on top of my hotel, right on top of it. I go down to the front desk. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was watching chat. I go down to the front desk and I ask them, what the hell is going on here? Is it being attacked or what? And they explained to me that no, it's Wednesday. This is military day. We do all these exercises. You're going to have this happen every Wednesday. Oh. I remember I was sitting in my car. I was double parked waiting for another guy that was there with me for work. And I was on the road, and these guys with M16s, the military, because they're all over the place, came walking up. I cracked my window down. He looks in at me, and he's like, American? I'm like, yeah, American. He's like, okay, you're okay. I'm like, oh, thank God. Being that close to the DMZ was kind of scary, but being in Seoul, when I went back to Seoul and stuff, it was gorgeous. It was fun. Jay Vandy, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, both of those, Korea, Japan, probably China too. I've never been to China, but the history is just so vast and so cool and so different than ours. That's for sure, and much older than ours. I actually was trying to talk the wife into moving to Ecuador when I retired. I was like, man, our dollar goes really far in Ecuador, and there's a huge American community of retirees living in Ecuador. And Ecuador is beautiful. Yeah, she was like, no. My wife, you would never convince her to leave America. Now that she's come here and realized that everything she learned as a kid was bullshit, she loves America. She is solid American now. She actually went and took the test and became an American before I married her, because I wanted her to know that, listen, if you're marrying me for citizenship, bad move. She's like, okay, well, I'll prove to you that I'm not. So she went and took the test and became an American citizen. And that test, oh my God, guys, I'm going to tell you now, I couldn't pass it. No way. It's really, really hard. Yeah, the military exercises too. Yeah, I mean, the tourists you kind of got to be aware of what's going on in South Korea when you're that close to the DMZ. But yeah, Ecuador is supposed to have some crime. Mexico too is, but again, Mexico with the crime is really, really kind of sucky right now. I mean, I guess that's probably true with some parts of America too. I mean, I've heard that you sure don't want to go live in Flint, Michigan, but I don't have any experience to say on that. But I lived on the south side of Chicago, and it was a rough, very, very rough. I mean, I had guns pulled on me. I had all kinds of stuff happen to me on the south side, and it was by my neighbors. It became a big fight one day about the fact that he said, well, I shoveled this area it was all street parking. We didn't have garages on my entire block, right? And it was the old school homes, and he was like, I shoveled this area on the street and you came home and parked in it. Dude, there are no other parking spots. I shoveled that side over there, see? Where that guy's parked, and I'm not over there crying at him. Just grow up, be a man, and when your wife comes home, she's gonna have to park somewhere else. And he was pissed. He went inside, got his gun. Like, really? Okay. And I still didn't move my car. I'm like, well, bro, you're going to have to shoot me. I don't care. I ain't moving. I see, because I wasn't watching and paying attention. I've only got one revive left. I don't think I want to do that. Let's do that. You're in Flint? Really bad with crime. See, I've never visited Flint. I've heard other people have told me that it's one of the worst places to have to live right now, and I guess it leads to crime in the nation for several years. I know that they have water problems. They've had an ongoing water situation, and so that kind of, I guess, probably ties to it. It's too bad. It's sad, actually, especially when it's just for water. It's like, come on, man, can we fix that problem? But it's been years, you guys, they've had to deal with that. I'm in Florida, bro. I moved here from Chicago about 15 years ago, and I couldn't agree with your statement even more. I totally agree with you, bro. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Florida is basically Ecuador, but with Florida, man. Yeah, our pension doesn't. It doesn't. You know, it doesn't really. My Social Security. Here's something that you want to be aware of that I wasn't aware of, and they don't teach you and they don't tell you. If you don't tell the Social Security 4 months before you're going to retire, then guess what? You ain't getting paid for 4 months. For 4 months, you're not going to get a Social Security check that you've paid into. You have paid into it, and you're not going to get it if you don't give them 4 months notice. The second you decide you're going to retire, you have to give them a 4 month notice, because you're going to wait 4 months to get your first check. So you have to notify them 4 months in advance. It's crazy, man. I didn't know any of that. Nobody teaches you that. Nobody tells you that. It's like, really? So now I got no paycheck coming for 4 months, and I'm supposed to pay my mortgage. I'm supposed to pay my bills. And luckily, my wife has a superb job. And luckily, my wife is younger than me, so she'll be still working for quite a few years, thank God. I tease her about that all the time. She's like, oh, that's why you married me, so I could keep working while you were retired. I'm like, hell yeah. I was thinking, planning ahead. Not really, but... I'm 62. I am 62. I early retired. I did an early retirement. But even if you do full retirement, whatever you do it, make sure you give them 4 week notice. But I did do an early retirement, yeah. Actually, to be honest with you, I retired. Whoa, I didn't even know you were still there. I retired when I was in my 50s, I think, late 50s, and I was done. I had enough money that I was going to be able to live. And then an EV charging company found me and said, hey, you've got skills that we want. Can you come work for us? And I'm like, no, I'm retired. Then they made me an offer that I was like, oh yeah, I'm coming. I'll be there right away. You know? Yeah, and if I work, I can't make over 20K a year. You're right. If I go and contract out, because the company I worked for when I retired, they added me to ask me to do some contract work, and it wouldn't have made sense because 2 jobs I would have made too much money. So it was kind of like, eh. Yeah, I actually got married on what's that? On Lake Michigan, the really beautiful. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it. It's like a little island thing there. Oh man, I can't remember what the name of it was, but that's where I got married at. My marriage was a huge party. We rented this big house on that lake right there on Lake Michigan, on that little island thing there. And all my friends and buddies and their wives came, and we partied all night, overnight, till the next day. We had the biggest party ever. No, not Beaver. Mackinac, something like Mackinac. Does that make sense, Jay? Yeah, I didn't get married on Thailand. Yeah, Mackinac Island or something like that, I think it was called. Yeah, Mackinac, that was what it was. Mackinac, yeah. That's where we got married at. I don't really remember how we ended up doing that, but that's where we ended up getting married. And man, we had such a big party there. It was such a blast. It was kind of a private community. There was a little beach there. I remember we walked down to the beach and took pictures down there for a while. Okay, I gotta watch what I'm doing here. I can't die or I'm gonna... Oh, I got one revive left. Yeah, fudge and pastries. I do remember that. Yep. I do remember that for sure. Can't even see this guy. There's so much stuff going on the ground here. Yeah, no gas vehicles. Yep, you're right. No gas vehicles. Yep, that's what the whole thing was about. It was pretty cool. Same as the old days, yeah. So much clutter. I know, a lot of clutter there. No, I didn't get married in Thailand. No, my wife is from Lithuania, not Thailand. No, not Thailand. Boy, she would freak out if she thought I said she was from Thailand. Not that there's anything wrong with Thailand, but... And now we got our first grandbaby, and she's out in California, which I couldn't be any further away, possibly, and it sucks. Because I miss her. She's such a good little girl. Yeah, the Grand. We saw the Grand. I did see the Grand. We didn't stay there. I think some of the people that came to our wedding did, though, and they said it was really expensive, but they said it was gorgeous. I miss my grandbaby. My grandbaby's out in California right now. She's in Clayton, California, and I'm in Florida. So yeah, we're far away. My daughter was working as a registered nurse here in Florida, but California just pays so much more. I tried to convince her that the cost of living is way more too, but she didn't care. And now she went out there. She bought a house out there for millions of dollars, and she works for the VA. So she actually just wants to stay there for 10 years so she can get the full retirement. And then she wants to move to Colorado, which she used to live in Colorado too. A year and 3 months and 2 days. Woohoo! Congrats, bro. That's awesome. That's such a fun age too, Zachary. A lot of retirement folks go to Thailand. Yeah, a lot of them do. California is way expensive. I have a brother that used to live in Missouri. He just left Missouri. He's a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. Boy, he could just go on and on and on about Patrick Mahomes. He'll never shut up about Mahomes, ever. All right, so we want to finish this piece here. Not much left to upgrade on that. Well, I don't know, bro. She makes really, really good money, and she married a guy that is a programmer. He used to be a software programmer for Netflix, and they seem to be doing really, really well. They bought a house that I think they paid. It's so funny because to me it's so little. I think they paid a little less than $3 million for it. And it's a 2-bedroom home. But in Florida, you would buy for maybe 250 grand. And I mean, no, I'm not watching anything on Netflix. I said that my daughter's husband used to be a programmer for Netflix. He no longer is. He's programmer for some Visa card. I don't know who, but he's a smart guy. I know that. I was a programmer for years and years and years myself, and he blows me away. He's from India, and she met him in California, and they got married, and yeah, he's a smart man. And I'll tell you, my daughter was married once before to a Lithuanian, and he was the meanest piece of crap I ever met in my life. And finally she got away from him, which I begged her to. Me and my wife begged her to for years. They actually lived with us for a long, in fact, their entire marriage they lived with us. My house is huge. My house has 2 master bedrooms, so it's perfect size to have 2 families in. It's a huge house, and they lived with us forever, and he was the biggest piece of crap. Me and him used to go at it all the time, and I knew I could never touch him because he would no doubt would throw me in jail. But he was just always mean. I mean, just a mean guy. And it was funny because they used to tell me before I ever went to Lithuania, they said, don't walk down the street and smile at people in Lithuania or say hello. I'm like, why? And they're like, you'll get punched in the face. I'm like, we don't do that in Lithuania. We don't say hello or smile at people. Well, if you did that, there's something wrong. I'm like, what? Well, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm going to do it for sure. But yeah, luckily she got away from him, and appreciate that. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, it's different cultures, different ways of life. I'll tell you a funny story. When I was in Russia for work, I had to fly somewhere within Russia. So I was at their little local airport, right? And instead of like what we have those little lines that, you go through this way, like at the bank line, and they're all tiered off. Nope. Theirs is wide open, and they just push and shove an elbow. And I'm like, I stood in the back kind of watching, going, what is going on here? And finally, I started watching the clock enough that I go, well, I got to do the same thing because I got to get on this plane. So I'm just elbowing and pushing, and oh my gosh, it was the biggest. I was like, this is the way they do it in Soviet Union, I guess. Well, now it's Russia. All right. Yeah, it was Lithuania is really kind of insane about that. I mean, Jay Speedy on TikTok, got you. You were the one sending me the gifts yesterday. Appreciate that, Jay. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's Lithuania's the people, the culture have learned kind of not to trust each other because got to remember, back then, the Soviet Union, when they were part of the Soviet Union, or not anymore, but they were taught to rat on each other. They were taught to tell on each other, and they weren't. It was not a nice country, and now it's slowly changing, but it's a slow process. It really is. So today we got 2 mythics. And I'm gonna have to get off of here very soon, probably, because I do gotta still go finish my gutter. Most of it's gonna get finished Friday, but I'm just doing a little cleanup, and my gutter is very long, so it's got seams in it, and I have to make sure that they're all sealed. And because it rains here in Florida every single day, I can go out and see where I need to still do a little bit of work, and then I mark it, and then I go back the next day. Like today, I watched it yesterday. I saw like 2 spots that need to be sealed up a little better on the seal. I've never been to Romania, but I've heard it's gorgeous. My wife has been there. She's told me it's gorgeous there. It's supposed to be very, very beautiful. Yeah, it's Always something. Always something when you own a home. So guys, I am going to go ahead and end it here. I really do appreciate every single one of you. I really do. We will be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. Again, if you want to run with me on Sunday, please, please find me, Made Biker, # 1605. And on Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we'll run with followers. I'm back every day at 11 a.m. Eastern. My Diablo ad is, again, Made Biker #. Here, let me do this. It'll be easier. It'll be a lot easier. So it's... Okay, that's me, and I'll put it in TikTok too. And if you send me an invite, I will accept it. And we will run. I do follower runs. I try to do them every weekend. Some weekends I can't get on, and I make sure you guys are aware of that before they happen. But this weekend I will be on Sunday. So Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, I'll run followers through Torment Bosses. Also, I have tons and tons of unique gear. Friday. Oh, is tomorrow Friday? Oh yeah, I'm not on Friday. You're right. I will not be on tomorrow, Randy. You're absolutely correct. So it'll be Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Tomorrow I'm going to do gutters all freaking day in the heat of Florida. Good call, Randy. But yeah, send me an invite. I'll accept it. We'll run some stuff Sunday. I've got bags full of unique gear that you can have if you need it. You don't need to give me anything for it. We will run all them. I have mats for every boss. Some I have more than others. Like I don't have a whole lot of living steel for Gregora, but everything else, maybe not a whole lot for Andariel either. Those two bosses, but everything else I got tons of. So I will definitely, hydrate like crazy in Florida. I will definitely run you through it. It says it's not valid. Oh, it's valid here. I'm going to show you. Let's go. Let's do this. Alt tab. And if I go here and go there it is. Made Biker number 1605. TikTok, you can't see it, but that's it right there. If I do this, you'll be able to see it. I'll move that over so you can see it. So yeah, it's Made Biker 1605. I don't know why it's telling you it's not valid. That's crazy. But this is through BattleNet. Maybe if you want to find me in the game, I'm sorry, I think that's what you asked. Then you're gonna want to do Biker Source right there. I'm sorry, I think you did say that. Oh, I didn't know there was a space. That's interesting. I didn't think it accepted the space when you tried to put it in. But you could also find me this way too in the game using Biker Source. And you'll be able to join up. All right. So guys, I'm sorry I will not be here tomorrow. I'm going to be doing gutters all day. Randy did a good call. He's a good listener, bro. And we will be back Sunday. See you then. I start at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And then I go until we run out of mats or everybody gets tired or people are just like, hey, I'm sick of you. I don't want to do this no more. So I just try to run until, so if you can't start right at 11, just come on in and whatever time you can, and hopefully I'll be there and we'll do things. All right, guys, take care, be safe, and please be